students, this is Princelin, Assistant Professor, Perry Institute of Technology, handling Database Management System, second year, 4th semester, Regulation 2017. Today I'll explain you Unit 3 Transactions of topics, transaction concepts, asset properties, concurrency control, need for concurrency. Transaction concepts. So first let me tell you what is transaction. A transaction is a set of logically related operations. So it is a unit of operations that you are going to carry out in the database, or any changes that you read or write the data items in the database, you call that as transaction. So example, so if you want to transfer money from your bank account, from your account to your friend's account, so these are the set of operations will be carried out. The first one will be, you will read your account balance, deduct the amount from your balance and write the remaining balance to your account. Then you will read your friend's account balance, then you will add amount to his balance and write the new one. So this is reading your account balance, and you are going to transfer certain amount to your friend's balance. That is reading and writing operation. So together all these whole set of operations you call it as transaction. So database should remain in a consistent state in the beginning of the transaction and also at the end of the transaction. While during the execution of transaction, it will temporarily remain in an inconsistent state. So these transaction should follow certain properties called asset properties. So first let us see what is asset: atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. So I'll explain you all the properties. First let us see atomicity. Atomicity, it is a single unit of operation. That is, you have to either execute all transactions or none of them should execute. So I'll give you one example. So same banking example. So account A has balance 400, B has 700. Account A has to transfer 100 to account B. So now this transaction has two operations: debiting from A's balance and creating 100 to B's balance. So either both these operations should complete successfully or none should be done. So this property you call it as atomicity. Next one is consistency. So consistency, you have to preserve consistency of the database. So at the beginning of the transaction and at end of the transaction, the consistency of the database should be maintained. Isolation. So isolation property, it states that only one transaction should execute at the time. That is, if the transactions are executing parallelly, it should not affect each other. The parallelly executing transactions should not affect each other. So you call that as isolation property. Next one is durability. In durability, so if you make any changes to the database, if you make any changes in the transactions, those changes should be permanently updated to the database. You call that as durability. So these are about asset properties. So next one is transaction states. So while executing the transaction, it has certain states. So they are active, partially committed, committed, terminated, aborted, failed. So first one is active. So if the transaction is in execution, you call that as active state. If the transaction got failed, goes into the failed state from active state, you call that as failed state. So that failure may be due to hardware failure or a software failure. Next one is partially committed. If the transaction is at the end stage, it's towards the end stage, you call that as partially committed state. Next one is committed state. If the transaction is completed successfully, and all the changes you made to the transaction will be in the local memory. So those changes should be permanently updated to the database. So if everything is permanently stored in the database, you call that as committed state. Next one is aborted. So if the database is in inconsistent state, so if the database goes to inconsistent state, so during that time you abort the transactions temporarily, you call that as aborted. So these are the certain states of transactions. So next one is concurrency control. So first let me tell you what is concurrency. A database can have multiple transactions running at the same time. So if you take a database, so you cannot run only one transaction. So you are going to execute parallelly more transactions. So those transactions should maintain or preserve the isolation property. So to preserve that, you go for concurrency control. So interactions among the concurrent transactions must be controlled. So it is controlled by the concurrency control mechanism. So this concurrency control mechanism, it ensures that simultaneous execution of more than one transactions does not lead to any database inconsistency. So next one is need for concurrency. So the need for concurrency, it ensures that to ensure isolation, to resolve read-write or write-write problem, and to preserve consistency of a database. So the concurrent execution of transactions over shared database, it will create several data integrity and consistency problems. So let me tell you one by one the problems. The problems are lost update problem or write-write conflict problem, lost update or write-write conflict problem, dirty read or uncommitted read problem, non-repeatable read problem, phantom read problem. So first, lost update problem or write-write problem. So it states that update done to a data item by a transaction is lost as it is overwritten by the update done by another transaction. So let me explain with your example. So let's take the scenario transaction T1 and T2. So transaction T1, it first reads the data variable A, and the data variable A, it has the item 10, and after some times it writes the value of A. It makes some changes and it increments the value of A to 11. Okay. So now the transaction T1 has written the value of A 11 to the local buffer. So once the transaction has committed, only all the changes is updated to the database. So here now the value of A will be stored only in the local buffer. So at the same time, transaction T2, without reading the data value A, it writes the value of A as A equal to 30, and then it commits. That is, it make the changes of the value A as 30, and then it is permanently stored in the database. The value of A now is stored as 30. So coming to transaction T1, now after sometimes it commits without knowing that transaction 2 has changed or updated the value of A. Now this updation which is done by transaction T1 is lost. So you call this as lost update problem or write-write conflict problem. Next one is dirty read problem. Dirty read or uncommitted read problem. A dirty read is a situation when a transaction reads a data that has not yet been committed. So let's take the same scenario, T1 and T2. So first T1 reads the value of A as 7, and after sometimes transaction T1 it writes the value of A as 8. It makes some changes and it increments the value of A as 8. So after sometimes this transaction T2, it reads the value of A as 8 and then it's committed. That is, it updates the values permanently to the database as A equal to 8. This transaction T1, this val it has not permanently saved this value A equal to 8 in the database. The value A equal to 8 of transaction T1 is only in the local buffer, but T2 it commits and it stores the value of A equal to 8 permanently in the database. So after some time this transaction T1 got failed. So it has to again roll back. Now the value will change to A. So here the problem is T2 has read the value of A without commit of transaction T1. So you call this problem as dirty read or uncommitted read problem. A dirty read is the situation when a transaction reads a data that has not yet been committed. Next one is non-repeatable problem. It occurs when a transaction reads same row twice and get a different value each time. Let's take the same scenario, transaction T1 and T2. So initially T1 reads the value of A as 7 and T2 reads the value, after sometimes T2 reads the value of A as 7. T1 writes the value of A as 14. After some time T2 again it changes its mind to again it's to read the value of A, that is A as 14. So now T2 it thinks that transaction T2, so it will be thinking it is the only transaction executing. So initially it has read the value as 7 and now it has got the value 14. So this T2 will be in the confused state. So where it has read two different value each time. So you call this problem as non-repeatable read problem. When a transaction reads same row twice and get a different value each time, you called it as non-repeatable read problem. Last problem is phantom read problem. This problem occurs when a transaction reads some variable from the buffer and when it reads the same variable later, it finds that the variable does not exist. So transaction T1 and T2, in this situation T1 reads the value of A as 7 and T2 reads the value of A as 7. So after some time the T1 transaction T1 decides to delete the value of A. So any transaction can delete the instance or schema the database. So now the transaction T1 it decides to delete the data variable A. Now the transaction T2 wants to again read the value of A, but here it is undefined because transaction T1 has deleted the data variable A. So you call this problem as phantom read problem. When it reads the same variable later, it finds the variable does not exist. You call this problem as phantom read problem. Thank you.